10 Alarming Stories of People Who Realized that they were kidnapped. The Face on the Milk Carton is a book written by Carolyn B. Cooney in which a dreadful story of a 15-year-old girl is depicted. Janie Johnson lives a very normal life in her teenage days until she finds out a carton of milk on which her photo is printed, listed as a missing child. Her life falls upside down, and she suddenly realizes that everything that happened up till now in her life is a lie, and she has been kidnapped. Interestingly, this book isn't the only case that tells us about such types of kidnappings. There's a lot more in the box. So, today we are going to unravel 10 alarming true stories of people who realized that they were kidnapped. Before we start with the countdown, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and tap on the bell icon for more amazing videos. Here we go. David Amaya. In the year 1978, David Amaya was taken away from his mother by his father so that David can go and live with his paternal grandparents who used to live in Mexico. He spent most of his life with them and never came across his mother. Also, David's father used to visit them occasionally but never lived there for a long period of time. David kept on asking about his mother. But he was told that his mother abandoned him when he was too young. Well, the truth was something different. On the other hand, David's mother, who was in the US, was constantly looking for him and was filing missing complaints. But the complaints were always blocked as David was in a different country. After 34 years, when David tried to illegally switch the borders from Mexico to California, he got arrested. But, fortunately, the authorities found out about David's American residency and reconnected him with his mother. Richard Wayne Landers Jr. After Richard Wayne Landers Jr. was born, he kept on living with his grandparents' home in Wolcottville, Indiana. However, things didn't work out between Richard's grandparents and Richard's mother. They fought. So, the grandparents decided to switch the home, leave the country and take Richard along with them, basically kidnapping Richard. After many years, the police finally found Richard when they randomly found a person with the same social security number but a different name. Richard used to love his grandparents a lot. When asked about his grandparents' actions, Richard said that his grandparents might not have followed the rules, but they were right. He also said that he somehow knew that his parents might have been looking for him. Nonetheless, he chose to live with his grandparents out of sheer love. Julian Hernandez. In 2015, Jonathan Mangina tried to enroll in a college. However, he found out that his social security number does not match his name, and he was in deep shock. After that, a thorough investigation took place in which it was discovered that Jonathan Mangina was actually Julian Hernandez, belonging to Birmingham, Alabama. So, the father of Julian Hernandez was not on good terms with the family. Therefore, he took the boy away from the family. Julian grew up without knowing the fact that he was kidnapped. He only found out when he applied for admission to a college. However, when the father was caught by the police, Julian requested the media to stop bothering his father and let him live a normal life. Savannah Todd. Samantha Gildenhuys used to live quite a normal life in Australia. However, in 2013, everything got disrupted when her mother was arrested in the charges of kidnapping her. So, when the story was revealed, it was found out that Samantha's mother got divorced, thereby losing her custody, which forced her to flee to Africa and then to Australia. In Australia, she changed her child's name. Once upon a time, her mother mistakenly called Samantha from her birth name, which made Samantha suspicious about her real identity. Therefore, when she started investigating, she got connected with her father and found out the whole truth. Christy and Bobby Baskin. Christy and Bobby Baskin were kidnapped by their grandparents, their Murfreesboro, Tennessee home. Their grandparents, Marvin Maple and Sandra Maple, were granted temporary custody of the kids on March 1, 1989, because of a legal trial against their parents. After the case was dropped and the parents settled their case, the custody of the children was returned to their parents. Nonetheless, the grandparents refused to return the children and went to California. So, in order to not get caught, the grandparents decided to homeschool the kids. Nevertheless, the story was soon revealed when the grandfather himself narrated the entire account to one of his friends. Well, after many years, a story ran on news channels depicting the grandparents in a bad shape. Such a pathetic representation on national TV disturbed the grandfather. By the way, the grandmother had already died by this time. Therefore, the grandfather expressed his grief and told everything to one of his friends whom he regularly met at a club. However, when Christy and Bobby Baskin met their real parents, they could not comprehend the fact that they have been living with their kidnappers, whom they love intensely. So, they took a bit of time to admit it. Sun Bin. Sun Bin was a child who was living peacefully with the thought that he was adopted. He used to live in the Jiangsu province in China. As he lived happily, he never questioned about his real parents. However, as he grew old and turned 27, he was curious to know about his real identity. So, he opted for DNA testing and discovered that he was kidnapped by human traffickers. The human traffickers then sold him at a vegetable market to his parents with whom he started to live and thought that they might have adopted him. But the truth was different and shocked Sun Bin when he discovered it. When he was reunited with his family, his mother had already passed away due to cancer. Nonetheless, he met his dad and also his younger sister. Sarah Cecily Finkelstein. Cecily Finkelstein discovered that she was kidnapped. At the age of 15, she recognized her own photo on a milk carton, then she realized that she was kidnapped. She could not leave her father, who was apparently the person who kidnapped her. She was really attached to her father. Her father decided to marry her off to an Israeli who was twice the age of Cecily Finkelstein. So, she ran away and finally found her family in New Jersey, thereby finding her mother who used to reside in Europe. Finally, the mother and daughter reunited and still share a great bond. Angela Palmer. Angela Palmer was born in Germany in 1960. In 2013, Angela Palmer received a Facebook friend request of a woman who sued to live in Croatia, but Angela has no clue about her. After they started talking to each other, the woman revealed to Angela that she is her mother. Obviously, Angela must have gone into deep shock. So, the woman provided her with a copy of Angela's birth certificate and a few old family photos as evidence so that Angela would be able to trust her. Her mother, Helga, explained to Angela that was kidnapped. Ultimately, they got reunited after 44 years. Ori Steinman. In 2004, 17-year-old Ori Steinman along with her friends was having quality time and was using Facebook when they decided to search Ori. What brew after that shocked Ori and her friends extremely, and they could not believe their own eyes. The search results were filled with missing reports of children named Ori, in which her presence was noted too. Now, the girl realized that she got kidnapped and is living with her kidnappers. So, Ori, being a smart girl, told everything to her teacher. The teacher called the police and kidnappers got arrested, after which Ori got reunited with her real family. Oscar Alfredo Ramirez Castaneda. The 3-year-old Oscar Alfredo Ramirez Castaneda was kidnapped in the civil war happening in Guatemala. But the person who kidnapped her died really soon, and then Oscar was looked after by his mother. He used to love his home and was deeply connected to his mother. In 1998, he decided to move to the US where he started his own family and got to know regarding what happened to him in 1998. The extremely painful event occurred in which Oscar's village was completely destroyed, leaving behind only 2 survivors. One was Oscar among them. The other survivor was his father, from whom he got disconnected. However, he again met his father after 30 years. So, here we have come to an end of our list that showed you 10 accounts of people who lived peacefully, but they got kidnapped in reality. Later, when they found out this truth, their whole life witnessed a shift. So, tell us in the comments section below about your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more such fun stuff.